Welcome to Activate Quantum Timeline 3.0 Vortex Workshop Day 3. So, this is the third week we are meeting, and today I am going to talk about something incredibly personal to me because I have gone through it. I know the pain of it, and I'd love to talk to you all about it, definitely. And that is narcissistic abuse. So, we talk about narcissistic abuse, relationship healing, and a bit of relationship manifestation today. I am so happy that you all are here. I'm so happy to welcome you all. And so, let's start talking about narcissistic abuse. So, if you have been through a narcissistic abuse or you have realized that a relationship has completely left you damaged and you have reached a state of consciousness literally where things don't seem to be working out for you and you literally pushed yourself against everything that was happening just to be in that relationship, put up with that situation, and you held on to it. And because you held on to it and your boundaries were encroached time and again, maybe you had forgotten a sense of who you are, you stopped having a life, you really didn't have a life beyond that guy. And if you are coming from a situation like that, if you've been through narcissistic abuse, you literally forget the essence of relationship because your life with a narcissist is mostly about them. Your life with a narcissist is mostly about upholding and honoring them. And your life, if you are with a narcissist, revolves usually around that person. And that person really first love bombs you, gives you a lot of signs that things are like all perfect. You feel like this is the ultimatum, and then they disregard you and leave you and maybe just find the next person. And that's kind of when you start to feel like you're just left alone, but the narcissist is not there for you anymore because the narcissist has found the new supply. And that new supply is now being the source of love for the narcissist. The new supply is being the love of their life. They're doing the same things for the other person, and you start wondering that what's wrong with me? Have I done anything wrong? Is it my fault? And you literally get into that state of consciousness of wondering why did you have to go through all of that? So if you are coming from a situation like that, it's normal and natural that you get detached from the idea of how it felt to be in a relationship, how it felt like to be happy and present in relationship and connect to a person and trust a person again, because you kind of have stopped trusting people because of what you've gone through. You literally have reached a state of like, I don't know if I can really trust a person. I don't know if I can really have faith in the process of relationship again. And that's kind of the damage that narcissistic abuse does to you. And a person literally gets into trauma. They feel like shrunken. Their heart center literally shrunks down, and they literally feel like something is just pulling them inwards. And they are constantly being in a state of suffering. And that's kind of when they also form trauma bonding, and that's easily mistaken with twin flames journey because often the signs are the same, and people get stuck in trauma bonding and expect the narcissist will come back, feel and connect to spiritual signs and literally feel like there's beyond, and maybe the narcissist is just mirroring a phase of their life, and literally get sucked in to that process. And in that process of getting sucked in with that idea of, okay, the narcissist is doing this, so I must be doing this. A lot of times people even get into the trap of like, oh, this person might be my twin flame. And they start to just flow in the course of that mirroring with the narcissist, where they are constantly feeling damaged and the person is constantly making a different decision, a different choice. The more and more you choose love, even in your heart, the more and more you want to be with the person, the more and more you see the person just getting another supply or something like that. And that is exactly when a person gets trapped in that consciousness of trauma bonding, and it can be quite difficult to come out of that space, because a lot of times, in fact, a person is coming from Stockholm syndrome to trauma bonding. I am coming from Stockholm syndrome to trauma bonding, so I literally know how do you get out of it, how do you get out of the pain, what exactly happens. I literally can tell you because I've gone through it. And literally, when a person is coming from trauma bonding or Stockholm syndrome or feeling stuck in that energy, a lot of parts of their body gets conglomerated with that energy, and they are naturally simulated with that person. So their way of being, their way of doing kind of gets conjoined. So when you are coming from such a paradigm, the most important part of healing is to first detach from that paradigm and heal the upsets, heal the wounds that those aspects got in you, and separate from that wounding. Once you have separated from that energy, once you have really walked through this, once you have really worked on those hurt, then you reach a state where, okay, I'm ready maybe for a relationship. Because in this state, I'll be so happy if you fall in love with somebody and genuinely willing to walk with you through the journey when you are healing. But in this phase, when you are healing, if you are like even trying to get into a relationship and you're just not ready for it, you're just doing it just to feel like fill up that emptiness, it kind of falls away because you are literally not there. You're literally not healed here. And that is the most important aspect of transformation when you are going from 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0 version of your relationship. 1.0 version being the phase of karmic, narcissist, which I have just started talking about. We started the conversation with the journey. In fact, because when I decided to include it in as one of the topics that we'll discuss today, I literally was nudged to start just talking about it and just flow before I would start anything else, because it is that serious. It's not just some fun topic as growing intimacy with your partner, which we'll obviously talk about later. But if you're coming from that state of damage, a lot of people refer to it as the dark night of the soul. A lot of people refer to it as the false twin flame journey, the karmic journey, narcissist abuse journey. No matter what you refer to it as, a toxic relationship, no matter what you relate to that as, that phase is holding energy in your body. And that phase has thoughts, that phase has given you beliefs, that phase has given you ideas. And for a lot of you, that phase has also diminished your self-esteem. I have one of my clients who literally was terrified to once come online and show up and make her videos because her ex-boyfriend would watch and say something, and she's married now, she's very happy. And as we walked through those layers, and she really realized that, like, okay, I mean, who is he? I can, like, she can block that. She can block that person. She can just remove that comment. She eventually got out of the fear and realized that, okay, this is in my head. I'm just living in that reality of trauma because a part of my body is just shifting in that situation where I went through that. So every time I think of doing something like social media or maybe show up for my business, I kind of get shifted to that dimension where he kind of put halt and bans and everything. And that kind of starts giving me paranoia. And because I don't know what to do because of that paranoia, I cannot really show up. And that's when she realized it. She was ready to show up and she made a beautiful video for us, in fact, for our channel. And I had shared her success story. I had shared, I mean, not about this, about her confidence she had shared. And the process of transformation, process of change that you go through is true but realization that you are good enough. I mean, if a toxic relationship, if a person is making you feel like you're not good enough, somebody's telling you things and you're feeling triggered, insulted, the whole point is that you are feeling triggered, insulted, all of that inside. It is happening in you. You are absorbing that, getting triggered by that. It may be because you have more expectations from them. You didn't really expect them to behave like that. But it's beyond that. It's even deeper when we dive deep in spiritually. Because when you dive deep in spiritually, it's like, what is it at the core that I am feeling about this experience? And why is it that I'm getting triggered about this experience? And as you just work on each layer in that process, you realize that it's not so much about the person who has not been there for you, who was not loving you, who was probably abusing you. It's not about the person. And I do not really know how to explain a person more better who's going through trauma bonding and is literally feeling like this is it. But this video has the agenda to reach out to more people who has been through or are going through trauma bonding and have been through horrible past relationship, and because of which their nervous system is so damaged that they have forgotten to be in the moment, connect to love, and feel that essence of love again. I really, really intend that a lot of you come across this and absorb the information and realize the message beneath and free yourself from what you're going through. What happens when a person is going through trauma bonding, moreover, is that their heart chakra, as I was telling, starts feeling like it's shrinking. So when your heart is shrinking, literally there is less of oxygen flow, there is less of the prana energy flowing, and you literally feel like something is heavy down on you. It affects your blood circulation, it affects your heart-mind connection, it affects your hormones. There's a hormonal imbalance in that process, and you really feel like disintegrated. And that's when your heart and mind literally need to come into a state of integration. And that is so important for a person who is going through that phase, because you literally have fragments of your parts and you literally forget who you are, and you literally get into a state where you start to seek validation from that person. But it's not about that. It's about really you, and it's a part of you getting triggered. A lot of people who have joined here have done inner work with me. Some of them are my clients right now who I'm working with. So I would definitely love if you all like comment down below and share your experiences and whatever you want to share, so I can read it out. And a lot of people, when they hear, they realize they are not alone. So go ahead and comment down, and I would love to read out what y'all share. So the whole point is that it's never about the experience outside. but it's always about what you are feeling inside. And literally, it might be difficult for you to process your emotions and wounds in the initial stage. Literally, it might be like so difficult to sit with parts of you even understand. But when you're really wounded and maybe like going on messaging that person and expecting that person to probably come back, or you are in that relationship, you're like treated like doormat, things are not working out for you, and you do not know whether to move out of that situation or not. Or maybe you're going through domestic violence even, and yet you are putting up with that situation because you don't really know whether to step out or step in, because you probably are not earning. So no matter what your situation is, you are not alone. There are plethora of people who go through that. There are plethora of ways, and there are plethora of ways to seek for help. And that phase, whenever you're stuck in a situation like that, I personally would never really recommend anybody to go through a phase of transforming the narcissist to change and become a better person and then come into a relationship. And that is one of the most pivotal reasons why I am addressing this topic, because this is not so talked about. And I am a relationship manifestation coach, so I am in relationship coaching as well as manifestation coaching equally, and I'm trauma informed, so I will of course care about the people and their mental health over anything else. So a lot of times people literally get stuck in that phase, apply manifestation, and they have a lot of heavy energy. And they literally feel like I have to get this person. It is like a revenge. And they stay in that state of heavy heartedness, heartbreak like syndrome for years. And nobody deserves it. You don't deserve to go through it for any reason. No matter what had happened in the past, you don't deserve to go through this. So it's not about really torturing yourself. And even if you are coming from a situation maybe where you went through maybe infidelity, or you had a betrayal in a relationship, somebody cheated on you, and that's where you have got into that state of consciousness of you're not good enough and you're not worthy. But that's again not you. That's again you observing yourself from the lens of the other person, like from what happened, from the situation. You are trying to judge yourself, but anything that happens, there's a deeper reasoning behind it. That's why I said, like, go within and keep asking why for literally anything that you face as an obstacle on the outside. So, no matter what you have been through, no matter what your past has been, for nothing do you deserve to go through constant pain or wounding. So, for all my Quantum 1.0 Vortex friends who are in that situation, who will be watching this video, you're not alone, but you don't need to go through that. God is not punishing you. You're absolutely loved, you're absolutely honored, and there is that person waiting for you. There is light at the end of the tunnel, there is hope at the end of the tunnel, and there is miracle at the end of the tunnel. So don't get like don't get like stuck up in that paradigm of things not working out for you, and you being in a phase where a lot of karmic energies have been there, so you have lost faith. Allow yourself to move past that phase and welcome a new love, light in your reality. So as we move to the point time 2.0 vortex, this is a phase where we are often maybe with a soulmate, or we are just being with a person just for the sake of it, who might not be compatible, or maybe we are choosing a phase of just having fun, sleeping around, and having a lot of dates. And that is the kind of a phase where you're not too sure of whether to commit or not commit. You have a lot of options. You are exploring through phases. You may be trying to find out who you are, what kind of person you like, and you're going through transformative relationships. And you're not really attached in those relationships, but you're dating for the sake of fun. And 2.0 vortex is a much more healthier state to be in than being in the 1.0 vortex where you're sacrificial, going through wounding or trauma bonding or dark night of the soul and all the heavy energies. When you're moving into 2.0 vortex, it's not necessary that you have to go through 1.0 to get into 2.0. You can always be at 2.0. There can be a possibility of moving from 2.0 to 1.0, 3.0. I mean, when I talk about all the phases, you'll be able to relate to yourself in the various phases in many point in time. I'm not saying that if you find the ideal match, the perfect relationship, you'll never fight, you'll never have triggers with that partner. Of course, there will be issues that you'll have to walk through and move through and process through and talk it out. But the intensity of the way a healthy relationship functions when there is a fight is way different from how it is with a narcissistic abusive relationship. But there can be tidbits of energy and traces of narcissism that you can find it in yourself even. I can find it in myself even. Everybody will have some trait, and in today's world, the very idea of a successful person, a person who's really like loves themselves, the world revolves around them, everything around you is just you pushed out, it's just you are the center of your reality. That you're the main character of your reality. You need to be resilient, you need to be competitive, you don't need to care about your emotions, you just need to keep going, working, and it's about what you do, what you are. It's about that characteristics. That's a lot of idea of perfection, and that kind of matches with narcissist traits as well. So in a 2.0 vortex, the way of seeing narcissistic abuse, the way of seeing a person is more varied, more different, and it's a phase of exploring, having fun, not really connecting, being very sure, being really clear about your boundaries. You can still be working through your boundaries. You can still be working through your limiting beliefs. You can still be working through your career, upsets. You can be having mental health upsets and a lot of stuff. But 2.0 vortex is more about non-attachment, really finding that love, or maybe settling for maybe arranged marriages or being in relationships that you are there but not there, you're leaking energies, or like you don't even know you're leaking energies, and you're just having fun. It's an open relationship, and even if it's not an open relationship, it's somewhat an open relationship. Maybe there's a lot of friends with benefits in that process, and that's a vortex of 2.0. And after 2.0 vortex, you of course move into a 3.0 vortex where you're maturing more as a soul, maturing more as a lover. You are moving from the phase of like, I don't want to settle, I have that option, to I would love to settle. I would rather call in the person who's meant for me or for my highest good. I would rather call in the person who I am so meant for. I would rather call in the person who was created to be with me. I would rather call in the person who was just for me and who is just compatible with me, who will be a lot like me. 2.0 is about like instant gratification, or like, oh, I would love to manifest that person. That person is really cute. I would love to have that person. That person is nice. 3.0 is more about really realizing that, okay, ultimately I choose my happiness, that oneness, that contentment. That person is nice, but I'm aware as a powerful manifester. So in the next episode, we will actually be going and diving deep into manifestation, how we do it in quantum reality and quantum manifestation. From next week, we begin the journey of diving really deep with quantum manifestation. And I will be talking about the 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 vortex version of manifestors. So, as a 3.0 quantum person, you are a powerful manifester. So, you are not really in that state of consciousness of lack, of I need something. You really realize how energy works, how simulation works, how imagination works. And you're also aware that you don't have to get that, you don't have to make it unless it holds a deeper meaning to you. And you're thinking of the long term, like how will the relationship be in next 10 years? Where will I be with this person in next 10 years? If you're getting into a relationship, you're not just casually flinging. It's a more high value approach to dating in 3.0 vortex. And of course, it's an evolution from the 2.0 vortex to 3.0 vortex. And I'm not judging 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0. It is just evolution of state of mind and realization that often comes with maturity and age. And because 3.0 is more of a phase when you're ready to settle. And I'm guessing a lot of people wouldn't be in their 14 or 15 years old in 3.0, and I don't expect them to be. They're expected, at least they're in 2.0. I don't hope anybody to go to 1.0, be in that karmic energy or dysfunctional dynamic, which we would also talk about later, how is a lot related to your parental dynamic, which affects your relationship altogether. So in 3.0, a person is more healthy, more choosing God, is God-centered, universe-centered, source-centered, and is really believing that there is more for me in this journey. There is something perfect, beautiful, waiting for me, created for me, and so beautifully orchestrated for me. If you are in a relationship, you think of like, oh, this relationship is so perfect. I would love to understand this person more, get deeper with this person more, nurture this connection more. In 2.0, it's like, all right, let's break up. In 1.0, it's like codependency, so let's stay. 1.0, I'll just show you a little bit of difference here with this very aspect. So 1.0, this very aspect will be like, please be with me. I really need this love because I need to fill up myself because I am empty. That's 1.0. 2.0 will be, all right, no worries. I need to find somebody else because I'm rotational dating and I'm not really being in this moment. I'm not really here in this moment and I'm just chilling. I have no attachment. Or, oh, you did this to me. I'm going to show you by finding someone better. No big deal. I'm just going to focus on me and my personal growth and development. And in 3.0, it's more like, is this connection even meant for exploring? Do I really feel like there is something deeper that can happen? And you eventually develop connections and relationship in 3.0. It's also another way of saying that as a child, when you are developing connection with somebody in your school, it's a lot more friendlier than how you develop connection with your colleagues as an adult or how you talk to anybody as an adult who you are newly meeting. Not that you've been friends forever, but somebody you are newly meeting. Your approach as an adult is more 3.0 like than 2.0 like, right? So it's that the transformation happens with experiences, with age, a lot of factors are involved. So a person might be in this 3.0 consciousness right at the age of 17. I know of so many beautiful souls who have held that consciousness all their life. And that's divine, that's beautiful, and that's not rare. That's also a large percentage of the community. And also there's large percentage of community who has gone through all the phases that I have talked about and has experienced transformation. I'm one of them. I've gone through all of the phases. And no matter which phase you are in, a time comes when you really want to settle. And that might be at the age of 40, that might be at the age of 50, that might be at the age of 20, that might be at the age of 17. I know people who choose to get married maybe when they're 18, 19, and then they stay married forever. I have a friend, in fact, who got married right after school, and she is so happy. She's so happily married, and the relationship has been there forever. They have been in a relationship from class 5. It's real. It's possible. I have heard of so many. I know of another senior in my school. They have been in a relationship from 2009. Now they are married. It's been like so many years. Other friend of mine who I had previously given the example of, she was in a relationship from 2005. They were in class 5 since then. So there are people who hold that consciousness, and that's beautiful, that's divine. And that's how we hear of stories of relationships which have lasted for like 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, and we heard them and we're like, that is so divine, that is so beautiful. And it is not easy. It takes a lot of your presence, it takes a lot of your work, it takes a lot of your choice and effort to work it through mutually together. As I said, upsets will arise in every relationship. Like, exists no relationship on earth, there cannot be upsets. You can have upsets with your mother, you can have upsets with your father, with your friends, with your siblings, with God. So upsets are part and parcel of your life. So there exists no relationship where there is no tiff sometimes. But despite that, working through the relationship, it's all the relationships you've seen with your grandparents, with your parents. Don't you want that for yourself? Now, don't tell me that I cannot have it for myself because my generation does not have it. There is nobody else on earth who exists who can give me that commitment. Hold on, that's not real. That's not possible that there exists nobody on earth because so many 7.5 billion people, 8.5 billion people, I think. That's the current population. Yes, 8.5 billion people. You think there is nobody out of 1% out of 8 billion people who is your ideal person? So when you are in this 3.0 vortex, you literally realize that, okay, I am ready to walk through this path. I'm ready to call in this love. I'm ready to work on this process. I'm ready to feel my feelings. I'm ready to really nurture in my essence and be in me and love myself more. A 3.0 vortex person realizes that as you love yourself, they might not know anything about the consciousness, but they realize that at the core, even if they are unconscious 3.0, we will be definitely talking about conscious, unconscious, and subconscious aspects when we relate to how the vortex is referred to in manifestation the next day, that is next Friday. So for sure you need to come in next Friday. So whenever we are in this vortex of 3.0 in regards to relationship, you literally are realizing that there is something beyond. There is something which is there, which is loving me, which is there for me, which is helping me. I am trusted. I am loved. I am embraced. I can just have that faith and I can just let go. I can trust more. I can be here more. I can nurture this essence more. And in this presence, you cultivate more beautiful relationship with literally everybody. You connect to friends, you connect to new people, but you connect knowing your boundaries. The difference between 2.0 and 3.0 is that 2.0 you might just meet somebody at a party, you just might just have a one night stand with that person and then you don't want to keep in touch with that person. Okay, bye. 3.0 vortex is more like even if you have had gotten physical with somebody, that's more of a mature approach. That is more of a choice of an adult who is sure and you can just hang out with that person or not hang out with that person and mutually just can just move out of that process and not just get carried away by it. 2.0 is more like you either get carried away and go back to 1.0 feeling hurt. 3.0 is more like even if you just feel hurt or even go back to a little bit of energy of 1.0, all the more faster you can come up because you realize that, okay, it was my decision. I had those red flags that I could see. I am so not stepping forward. I walk away. So even if you're getting into a connection that is not healthy in 3.0, you walk away much faster. Whereas in 1.0, you stay stuck. In 2.0, you just get confused, maybe play around, but stay stuck. And that's when you get back to the 1.0 phase again, when the staying stuck comes in. So, and you move to 2.0, maybe you have left the connection, you're just going through the healing process, you're hurting. And that's again the purging phase of 1.0 when you completely purge and heal. So, a phase of completely healing, purged, and then you come to a middle pathway, that's 2.0. Or you are here in 2.0 all your life, or you are in 3.0 all your life. And you never leave 3.0, you never leave home. So that is kind of transformation you see in relationships. So whenever you are having that state of consciousness of being in 3.0, you are allowing yourself that, okay, I am a conduit of miracles. I shall allow myself to receive more love. I shall be the conduit of miracles with whom always mesmerizing things are happening. That's more of a 3.0 state. A 2.0 state is like, I really need this love to happen. Is this love going to work out? Is it valuable? You're more in your head. In 3.0, your heart and mind is more integrated and you are going through the intention of not lack, not to get something, not need, not lack, but wholeness. So your approach is from a state of like, I'm more whole, I'm more complete, I'm more expanded. And when you approach the relationship from that state of consciousness and you maturely walk through the process, you work on tiny tidbits of your thoughts, processes, you dive deeper. Your conversations dive deeper. You talk about your emotions, you talk about your core aspects, you talk about your core desires, you talk about your core choices on a more deeper note. You talk about your core understanding, core beliefs, interests, and you really dive deeper to really nurture and see how your each other's interests are connected and how you can interconnect and weave and connect more to it. find meaning through it and connect to each other more. That's 3.0. Everything that you are interested in 3.0, that's more from a state of like meaningfulness. 2.0 is like I have to do this, so I'm doing this. I'm wasting time, I'm getting bored, so I'm doing this. 1.0 is that I need to fill myself up. So I'm doing this. I really need to fill myself inside with love. So I'm doing this. So these were the key point differences of being in the three different vortexes when you're exploring relationship reality. So now coming to the topic of relationship healing. So how do you heal through the narcissistic abusive phase? If you are in 1.0, you are hurting, my heart goes out to you, my love, and journal. Write your heart out, journal your heart out. Maybe just take up a phone and voice record and just talk it out. Like just share, like I'm going through this, I have been going through this, I have this, that thing to rant about, I have that thing to rant about. Just simply rant and talk your heart out and write and rant and do that religiously daily. If possible, definitely go ahead and seek therapy, seek support. I'm always there to help you. I'm always here to serve you, and I would be more than happy to hold you in my container because I have been through trauma. I know the excruciating pain it causes. So whether you've been through divorce or breakup or dysfunctional family dynamic which has gotten you to trauma, no matter what the situation is, there is solution. And you're not alone, definitely. So in that phase, seek therapy, allow yourself to go through Reiki healing, allow yourself to go through yoga. Yoga really helps in trauma healing. Go through, so you can just search up for somatic healing, polyvagal therapy, learn up about how trauma affects the brain. I have, in fact, an interview video that I had just with Credit TV, which I put up, in fact, in my channel. Watch that, watch other videos, search up for people who are talking about narcissistic abuse, trauma healing, and really dive deep. Somebody who I would suggest personally for you to like search up for and who would definitely help you and has been my favorite in my journey of healing would be Teen Swan and Dr. Ramani, these and Michelle Lee Neves. These are three channels you can search up for if you are going through the 1.0 version. And of course, my channel has abundance of content for this, and I have a lot of content that you'll be able to relate to because it's for that journey of healing, integration work, any kind of inner work, really going through the purging process of wound releasing is pivotal for this phase of transformation when you are going through that phase of dark night of the soul or anything. Like dark night of the soul is a phase where a person might even get hallucinations, get thoughts like they are being abducted, get thoughts like they are connecting to another realm. They might be feeling like they'll die. They might be feeling like very detached. They might be seeing very wounded red colorish energy. They will connect a lot to Ma Kali, Ma Durga because they are in the lower chakras. So if you're in the 1.0 vortex, you're mostly like connected to your root chakra and sacral chakra, and they're imbalanced. So when they're imbalanced, you have huge security, safety issues, and you're not safe in your body. And that's kind of the phase. So chakra healing is one of the pivotal aspect that can really transform a person through when they are going through the healing journey in 1.0. Grounding exercises, meditation doesn't really help in 1.0 vortex because you're having constant chatter in your mind. So even if you shut your mind, it would not really help you to still and be in this space. Another thing I would suggest would be access consciousness. Yes, something else that I really, really love and adore. How could I forget to not mention access consciousness? Access bars really helps in that phase because it's about touch. So you can like go for somatic healing and polyvagal therapy, as I said, psychiatrist approach. But talk therapy in the initial phase helps the most. In the initial phase, there's so much of wounding, there's so much of grudge that trying to forgive is also like out of the context. So journaling and talking in that own voice note thing would be something you'll come back and be like, oh my God, you're my best friend. You just get me. Of course, I get it. I've been through that situation. Like, I had developed complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Like, and it had a lot more to do with my childhood than just relationships. But yeah, I will be definitely talking about it later today. How childhood and other dynamic affect this aspect as well. So now coming to 2.0 vortex, you are entering that dimension where either you are already in 2.0 vortex, that's best. Just don't move to 1.0. Keep elevating or just stay there. It's amazing as well in 2.0. So you might be in a phase, if I'm considering hypothetically you're moving from this phases, that's I am approaching these videos. So you might be finally in the state where you're kind of ready, somewhat ready to forgive. So this is kind of the phase of you're ready to forgive. You're ready to do shadow work. You're ready to do integration. You're ready to go in and really work on the different beliefs. You're ready to really sit with your emotions. You're ready to understand and nurture what's going on. And you're ready to really let go through a path of more realization. This phase is 1.2 is like, why? 3.0 is how. 2.0 is how. 3.0 is like be. So when you are in 2.0, there will be a lot of integration of polarities. There will be a lot of triggers that you have to work on. Quantum integration therapy is like best ever found modality, not because I've invented it, I'm saying, but I really am saying that is for this phase. And this is where you really can make most advantage of quantum integration therapy. Like, I'm not saying you don't have to go for it in other phases, but you don't have to actually. In 1.2, quantum integration therapy would be more overwhelming for you because 1.0 is not when you want to sit with your emotions and walk through. But usually when a person comes to me and is in 1.0 vortex, I'll allow them to go through their purging, they'll purge. And when they're ready, I would help them come to this phase of integration anyway. Because I know how a person is going through, what a person is going through, and I have that intuitive awareness of what to approach in a situation based on where the person is coming from. So when you are in 2.0 vortex, you will literally finally work on those aspects. You may start working on your self-concept. You may start working on self-love. You may start working on inner child healing. Inner child healing can be already a part of your life in the 1.0 vortex. In 2.0 vortex, you might just dive even deeper, more deeper layers you will be able to touch. As I think all of you know that in my one-on-one sessions or my programs, like my premium containers, we go up to like 8.0 version and more. So the evolution is never ending, but this is your introduction to the process, and we're exploring the first three realms. But often at times you would see that we are touching the 5.0 version as well or 5D version as well in this process. But we mostly usually try to stick to these three dimensions. So in 2.0 vortex, as you are going through that integration phase, as you're going through that phase of realizing the different aspects, you come to have deeper realization, you come to have deeper feelings and experiences within. And those experiences are where you start to experience transcendentalism for the first time. And you start to realize things like everything is a point of view. And what you focus on happens. You start getting interested in manifestation. You just do your meditation exercises. You have a routine. You might just be getting interested in crystals. You might be an entrepreneur already thriving. It depends. But I'm just going very general overall, focusing on what 85% of the consciousness might be in. So in that phase, when you are going through that transformation, often at times a point comes of a deeper realization, of a deeper connection, of a spiritual awakening, of a deeper understanding of your connection with all that is. And once that connection with all that is, that you are being given by God, and you are like, you can trust, you're connected to everything, there is a vibe essence. The moment the idea and understanding of vibe checks in 2.0, you jump to 3.0. The moment you have realized that there is this vibe, bro, who else get this, bro? Whenever you realize this, bro, you have moved to 3.0. The vibe check is like the, okay, access granted, welcome home. So that's kind of the path of evolution. And a lot of humans are in 3.0. A lot of beautiful content creators I see in 3.0 and vibing and being in that energy and vibe. POV are like such common 3D things to say nowadays, and that's so orgasmic. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful that humanity is evolving in a beautiful inside out way. Because as humans more transcend from the evolutionary phases, they naturally realize that there is something more deeper. It's not just about looking at the mirror and telling that I love you, I love you, I love you. There's something deeper. There's something happening inside. There's something going on inside which needs to be addressed. And there's a hole within. That's maybe not explored. And that unexplored part, the unknown part, has to be treaded. And fearlessly, a desire to tread that is this path. So now coming to relationship manifestation. So for that, when you're in 3.0, if you have to go through healing journey, you're usually in the state where you can just sit with something and realize that, why am I holding this hurt? What is the root core cause where I'm holding this hurt? What am I getting from this hurt? So questions, asking yourself questions is a greater way to heal your conscious awareness in a 3.0 vortex, because when you're evolving more, it's no longer your pain body. So there is a concept of pain body which you will find in Eckhart Tolle's book. So please go ahead and search up for Eckhart Tolle. So this pain body concept is that body that is there in you, that energy that is there, that is prevalent with the energy of your past relationships, your past karmic connections, your pain experiences on earth, your heartbreaks and everything. This conglomerates you to feel a lot of pain. If you're going through, and when you're going through a spiritual awakening or a phase of transformation or a emotional breakdown or transcendental shift or distress, depression, and simple anxiety, you start to feel the presence of that heaviness inside. As I was giving the example, your heart starts to feel shrunken in. So that is kind of the example of how the pen body functions. And 2.0 is a phase of regression of the pain body. 3.0 is like clearing the superficial layers so that you can dive deep into emotions in 2.0. And as you have dived deeper into your emotions and have transcended those layers, beyond them, you get into your awareness. And your awareness is not your emotions. Your awareness is beyond your mind, your body, your emotions. Your awareness is your essence of being, the energy within, the flowing of that essence and how that reacts and the vibe. And as I said, the vibe checker alert is where you realize in 2.0 you might feel like this, there, I'm there, I don't get it, but okay. But in 3.0, you're more like you're in that zone of really being in that vibe checked. So you are more of a person who would do better as you retrospect through questions of your awareness. You would be getting signs, you would be really feeling like everything is pushed out. Even if you have no idea, you would still feel like there is a connection with everything. There is a sense of me in everything. There's a sense of you in me. There's a sense of connection with everything. There's a sense of life in everything. That sense of life, that sense of essence of life, even in the most non-living object, and seeing a vibe even through a pencil box of a child and feeling like there is soul in it, is a very 3.0 version of living. And at 3.0 version, you might pick up collective pain, you might just have purging stuff coming out where you go back to 2.0, but more or less, if your energy is not being channelized properly, things just can get conglomerated. That's again when quantum integration therapy makes revolutionary transformation, because it works on your mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual, and a lot more other aspects. As the name suggests, of course, we work mostly and only through the quantum realm. So I reconfigure your energy field, as well as I work with your nervous system, as well as I work with your belief system. I just love humans and working with them. So in 3.0, it's more of questions. It's more of a deeper reflection. Somebody who has done the healing work with me will know this, who has gone through this phase of transformation. Some of you are here who are in the one-on-one session who I'm referring to, and they have gone through these phases. And they have literally gone through these phases of transformation. And my approach of talking to them, my approach of questioning them and working on their inner layers have also transferred and transformed in these phases. So when you are finally in 3.0, you ask yourself questions. You see a sign, you feel through that. Just go within and just submerge inside and allow your consciousness and realizations just come up one after the other and just give you a state of understanding. This is the phase where you can meditate more. This is the phase when you can dive deeper. This is the phase where your evolution begins to even the higher dimensions of 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7.0, 8.0, 9.0, 10 that are available right now. 11.0 is also definitely on its way, and 12.0, 14.0, it would just go on. The versions, the vibrations. But at this point, if we consider the mass consciousness, we have reached the vibe check alert. And some of them have surpassed that layer, have got into the 40 vortex. And that's kind of where they have realized that it's all energy and how energy transmute. And that's more of the energy that we practice in quantum manifestation, advanced techniques. And in 5.0, it's more of a vortex of being in the 5D energy, creating your own simulations, becoming conduit of miracles, becoming the conduit of energy, holding different vortexes. And as you ascend to higher dimensions, your dimensions transcend, your awareness expand, your unconscious memory, which already stores a lot of information, starts to unfold your genius a lot more in an expanded way to your conscious mind as you evolve through the layers of consciousness. And why I never talk about what I would be doing or what I do in my one-on-one sessions or things I take to 8.0 is because that's just not something that would be comprehensible or understandable at a phase of this. And even if I have given certain tidbits of those informations, these informations that are being transmuted at this phase of this transcendental shift from 1.0 to 3.0 is but an ideal phase of just gathering information and absorption and storing it. 4.0 is when they burst out and they start reflecting out. And you start to realize deeper aspects. That's when you enter 5.0, where you start creating simulation. That's where a lot of people, a lot of population has reached in this planet. And definitely there are a lot of population, people who have reached higher vibration. Like myself, I'm operating from 8.0 version right now when I'm talking to you all. So each version has a different aspect of being. And this is kind of the different structures and realizations that we have as we ascend towards the higher dimensions. So, with that being said, now you know what narcissistic abuse is a little. We have referred you to amazing people who I have suggested you to check out if you have gone through, are going through, want to know about narcissistic abuse or trauma healing or that phase. I mean, then we've talked about the phase of polarity integration, shadow work, inner healing, inner child healing, the inner pathway of 2.0, which is a bridge to 3.0 actually. Actually, you might, as I said, never leave home, always be here. And in 3.0, it's a journey of inner retrospection, inner realization. Does the healing journey ever end? Might not, because you're a human being. You're constantly unfolding and unraveling aspects. And your genius keeps on bringing awareness, bringing consciousness just suddenly. You might know a lot of things, but you don't really think like you carry those information all the time. But when you're in a situation and those information starts flowing through you, that's the sign where all the stored informations are just getting conscious, which has to get conscious in that given moment, which has to be transmitted through at that point based on the frequency, vibration, and a lot more, which are higher concepts and dimension, which you can find out more in my courses. Vibrational Scientist, phenomenal course. You must just check it out. It's available at www.quantumdynamic8.org. Like, definitely check it out. I will be putting that link, of course, in the YouTube description box. Go ahead and check it out. So now coming to manifestation. So in each of the phases, you can manifest, no matter where you are. But before we get into that, if you are in 1.0 vortex, you're not just like blindfolded and you're just going there and choosing a toxic person with all the awareness that there are so many red flags. Like, not some red flag loving person who'll be like, oh my god, red flag, give me some red flag, give me some red flag. Please give me that red flag, please give me that. I love collecting red flags. You're not doing that. So there is a wound that is inside of you. There has been series of events in your life. Maybe you had a difficult past. Maybe you had a weird, bad situation at home. Maybe you had a dysfunctional family. I come from a family where my father was alcoholic, physically abusive. There were issues between my parents literally forever. And there used to be fights literally like hooligans. And trust issue would be at its peak. So I was born with the idea that you do not trust. Relationships are meant to doubt. You're supposed to really doubt. You're supposed to really not trust. You're supposed to really control because you're not getting a way out of it without that. And that got installed in my consciousness when I was moving from that vibration, and I literally had to do a lot of inner work. And some of you here know that, in fact, have seen me through that phase of transformation from 2.0 to 3.0 with that particular aspect. So when I was going through that phase of transformation, I personally was integrating and doing a lot of shadow work and purging a lot of exercises from the 1.0 version itself, because I've been doing inner work and retrospection, asking questions, moving through dimension, going inside for quite some years. 8.0 and higher dimension open to me by the grace of God later, much later in 2017, 18, 19. But 3.0, 5.0 were luckily, again, by the grace of God, were open to me for a long time. So I have accelerated to different dimensions and different phases in my life. So a person who is going through 1.0 vortex can be going through different dimensions, because if I have been one specimen who has gone through those transformations, there has to be more people who have gone through such transformations. So it might be so that you have had parental issues, you have had triggers at home, you have been carrying wounds, you have been carrying issues, you have been bullied in school, maybe you didn't really connect to people. There can be plethora of reasons why you literally got to a point of seeking love on the outside. A person doesn't wake up one day and decide that I need to seek love on the outside today. Like, today is my love seeking outside day. It doesn't happen that way. So if, my love, you are seeking love outside, you are definitely having something inside that has not been healed, that has been repressed, not been talked out. Maybe somebody has triggered you, you have stored resentment, stored grudge, stored wound, and that's kind of what holds a lot of people back. Often in 2.0, what holds people back is that the modern ideas of psychological belief of we don't really need to forgive, you could just forget and move on. All these kind of beliefs, and also like, it's okay, just ignore the past, just focus on what's positive. That's very 2.0. Just don't think of what's hurting you, just ignore it. Don't like take it to your heart. Who else has heard this? I mean, so many of you I'm sure have heard about this. So this phase is coming to your life from seeing people around. Like, people are not going even within, like, they're living a superficial life. Why shouldn't I? That person is doing that. Why shouldn't I? And our parents had like reared us with the consciousness here, actually. Like, if everybody is going and jumping off the roof, will you also do that? And that's actually quite a very 5D way of thinking, of telling you that don't fit into the crowd and don't just do everything that everybody is doing. Don't be a sheep. Have your own discernment. Realize if that would be really a beneficial choice for you. If not, don't tread that path. But in 2.0, it's more like, I will do this. This has to be the right way. This is not wrong. Jealousy is not wrong. This is not wrong. That is not wrong. I have the right to feel this. You obviously have the right to feel this. You have the right to feel anger. It's justifiable for where you're coming from. This is also a phase where we may feel like another person has no free will. I can just do anything. I can just put hexes, curses, black magic, harm another person. And that's a phase where you're coming from hurt. Hurt people, hurt people. That's a quote by one of my another favorite person. That's Ralph Smart. Go ahead and check Infinite Waters. You would love his channel. He does talk about this a lot. And when you are in this 2.0 vortex, he's one of the best teachers whose work you can check up on the internet. And it's this phase where you are holding on a lot of grudge, a lot of hatred. You're like, this has to be this way. What you are missing out on and what a 3.0 person is getting, I didn't really hold on to this phase much longer because I'm a overly emotional person who takes everything to their heart. Like, anything and everything happens in any part of this planet, my heart takes in everything. I'm not a person who can avoid that. Like, a business of don't take it to your heart does not function with my system. Sorry. So I literally did not know how to do that ever. So I was always in the state of go in, see, why am I getting affected? Where is it coming from? Okay, what is it teaching me? And diving deeper. I was always a person who would be doing that. So I had realized this, that grudge, anger, whatever is happening, that's giving me a tight-fitted feeling and sensation inside. And I knew that I have to just transcend that tight-fitted sensation and move away from it. And today, I'm going to be giving you all a manifestation technique, which is going to be life-changing. It is going to be life-shifting. It's going to be transcendental. It's about a phase where you move from 2.0 to 3.0 vortex. So, when you are in this phase of not being able to forgive and stuff, a lot of energy gets stored. Realize that it's not about forgiveness or anything. 2.0 people, you're right. You're not wrong. I get your point. You're absolutely right, bro. I get it. But I need to give you another better, more strategic way out, which will help you have a better health, longer life, longer span of life, longer peace of mind, happy inner state, and at the same time, you can like do anything you want to do in life. Hold that grudge, but without storing that energy. So, what a 3.0 version person or a quantum realized person understands is that whatever I am holding grudge about, even if I'm getting angry with this person, there is an anger which is held back and I am feeling tight inside. I must release that out and I must not have it in my system. Because if it's there in my system, it's going to clog me, it's going to make me feel claustrophobic, it's going to cause hormonal disbalance, it's going to cause diseases, it's going to get rashes, it's going to cause hair fall, it's going to cause issues in relationship. It's going to cause money blocks. It's going to cause energetic blocks. It's just going to cause a lot of blocks because it's a block. A block is just a conglomerate clogged energy which is stuck, which is causing a sensation of tightness. And people say like there's no block. There's nothing called block. I'm like, really, bro? Why are you doing this to humanity? Because the whole point why I make this a pivotal part of understanding and making people aware of it, because beyond that stored energy are ton loads of diseases which you're chucking out and pulling out, but you're keeping it for that person who hurt you inside your heart space. Do you know how claustrophobic tightness, that sensation can be horrific to your own heart space? Do you know that how your body waves are impacted because of that? And that is exactly why you don't hold on to that energy and remove that energy. I will be telling you how at the end, when we just, as now we'll be starting with the manifestation part. I hope you all are loving this content. So now in 1.0 vortex, if you are manifesting anything, I would suggest, because you would be in the beginner state of relationship, I would suggest you to, of relationship manifestation, you'd be in the beginning stage. So I would suggest you to do vision board techniques, affirmations, or like looking into the mirror and simply saying, I love you and all to yourself, hugging yourself, being present, doing a lot of self-love exercises. Hold yourself with crystals, connect to crystals, allow crystals to heal you and push you and pull you to higher dimensions. Connect to water manifestation techniques, and we'll be diving deeper as from the next episodes about this, in fact. So you could say like last part is a good trailer about what's coming in your way. So for 2.0 vortex, the ideal phase of manifestation would be really asking why. Like, why do I own this? All right. So what am I seeking for this? All right. So, all right, since I'm wanting this, I'm seeking for this. So it's just a choice. So I'm going to choose this. So 2.0 is like, I prefer this, I choose this, I got this, I have it. Subliminals are ideal for this phase. Guided meditations, subconscious revering, best phase to start subconscious revering. 1.0 is more like hypnosis, would help you more shamanic drums, shamanic music, shamanic energy healing. 1.0 would like transcend and liberate with the help of that. 2.0 would be like ideal phase for subconscious rewriting tools. Love attraction intimacy works like magic in 2.0. If you don't know what love attraction intimacy is, again, go to quantumdynamic8.org and just type love attraction intimacy and you will get to know more about it. Love attraction intimacy is now priced $299 and comes with a one-on-one session that is complimentary and comes with love attraction intimacy and all the other tools in that range of love attraction intimacy. And it has created plethora of success stories and magic in lives of people, and it alone continues to share over 2,000 plus success stories, like as the tool in itself. Like I have lost count, like I've got so many success stories from love attraction intimacy itself, creating overnight miracles in 4 days, person coming back in 4 days. And the person was not doing any of the techniques, it was just that they listened to love attraction intimacy. They were in the 2.0 vortex. I was open to attracting clients in 2.0 vortex when I moved to 3.0 vortex. And love attraction intimacy was just making difference in their lives. I was pretty flopping from 3.0 to 5.0 in that phase when I created love attraction intimacy. And the success rate of love attraction intimacy and the kind of healing and transformation that our community went through during that tool and during those purging phases through subconscious rewriting tool clearing there was a huge acceleration and a shift, a change in the energy dynamics in the entire community that we experienced. And that's kind of when I began to realize my higher dimension and vortex and presence and energy more. It's not that I wasn't aware of it. As I said, your unconscious mind is aware of a lot of things, but you have to integrate, absorb, and be that. So as 3.0 is more about being energy, as I started to be more present, I started to dive deeper and see and understand my own depth and presence in different dimensions and connect to my essence in those dimensions. So when you are going through the phase of 2.0, ideal phase would be subconscious rewiring meditation, law of assumption, imagination would do wonders. But awakened imagination comes more in 3.0, and that's more fun. And Neville, I think, works for all phases. All phases. Reading Neville in 1.0 can trigger you, but will push you. I am a living proof, but not to recommend somebody who is in extreme excruciating trauma, because that's not the phase where you read things like depression is not real, fear is not real. It just triggers the hell out of that person, and the person really wants to feel like that I don't trust this world. Like, what's wrong with people? And I completely get where a person would be coming from to say that, and completely normal. So, with that being said, in 2.0, you are just asking why and just doing those exercises, or just reading, writing scripts, affirmations. As you enter 3.0 vortex, you're a powerful manifester. You know that my wish is my command. You don't stand in front of the mirror, or you don't have to create vision board, because you create 5D vision board. You create inner 3D vision board. Your vision boards become 3D in 3.0 vortex. So you go within and have a clear picture of what you want. You start to vibe with it. You start to realize that if I'm vibing with it, if I'm resonating with it, this is it. If this is in my resonance, this is it. And that energy of resonance really shifts you to the state of understanding that there's more beyond. There's more beyond, and it's just in the path of resonance, vibration, and frequencies. There are different dimensions that you are treading. And once you have got that, your evolution journey starts happening. So, the technique which I am about to share with you is a technique that will help you transcend anything, manifest anything, transmute emotions, and literally do anything in life. It's a magical, transformative technique and comes under as one of the tools included in quantum integration. Quantum integration is a human consciousness evolution process, or a technology, or an innate technology as we call it, that has been creating history with 4,000 plus success stories already. So this technique is about to change your life. So buckle up and get ready. Don't need to get fasten your seat belts, because you are about to fly. So whether your energy is stored inside, you might be feeling upset, you might be feeling triggered, you might be feeling angry, you might want to manifest something, you might feel anxious, you might be feeling needy, you might be feeling anything. Anything that is not on a lighter note, anything that is on a heavier note. You might be feeling goddamn anything. So whatever you're feeling, bring up that feeling. Feel that feeling. Bring that up. Feel like it's a ball of energy. As you feel that ball, through your sensation, through the touch of your sensation, as you can sense it, expand it. And as you expand it, also move your body how I'm moving it. And as you expand it, and as you expand it, as you expand it, as you push it, as you push it, as you push it, as you push it, you set the intention, you just reverse it in different gears. You reverse it on the right, you reverse it on the side, you reverse it on the left. You just play with it till you reach a vortex where you really feel the power to really burst it from within. And you just burst it from within. The burst of the energy just splashes a lot of energy that is stored within, and it becomes fluidic, it becomes lighter, and you just start being. And when you are just bursting, set the intention that I bursted to become and one with the consciousness of I have all the magical desires and manifested already, and now I allow it to burst. Enough is enough. Now I allow it to just burst. And through the burst, it's transcending and transmuting through many vortexes and is breaking through and is creating a core, earth-shaking resonance, and is creating a collective vortex and transformation, and is spreading this light, is spreading this energy, is bursting through this radiating light of energy, of goodness, of radiance, magic, and is spreading light and is reverberating at the core with this entire planet and is vibing with planet at the core. And I have shifted and become that vibration who is now embodied in that consciousness where I am being the vibration where I have my manifestation now. I burst anything held back in the energy and burst it out to get me abundance of flow, of manifestation of all that I desired, bursted out in an outburst, flowing as windfall of abundance of love, money, miracles, and good health coming more to me, my soul family, and everybody in this planet Earth and any other planet, and my alien friends in any dimension and galaxies. Caring about our citizens, neighbors, is also our duty. And ETs are a part of us, and I might be an ET too. You never know. You might be too. And we will definitely talk about that more. So thank you and love and light to you. And keep playing with the energy, keep bursting this energy, and enjoy this energy and keep it radiating and flowing. And enjoy this process and know that you are loved, you are light, you're truth, you're a magical being of light. See you, love and light. And see you on Friday again. Love and light to you. Take care. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And if you'd like to book a private session with me or get in touch with me, be a part of our 30 days program or any of our plethora of 18 programs, like we have like 18 courses. I have forgotten how many programs. So go ahead and contact me in the description box. You'll find the link below. And I would love to talk to you one-on-one and get to know you better. Let's just shift this game, play with this game, and have fun posting and playing with this game and changing the trajectory of your life, because you are a magical conduit of blessings, of magical inertia who's here to create magnetic miracles here, now, forever. Thank you and love and light to you. Thank you for being a part of this workshop. Thank you for being here for 1 hour, 28 minutes, 30 minutes with me, Satya and Somdata. Thank you so much for staying through and being here. I am so grateful to each one of you, all of you who joined, and all those of you who just stuck through for like all these hours. Thank you so very much. I love you all. Good night. Love and light to you all. And if you're watching on YouTube, I love you too. Have a great day. Thank you and love and light to you. Namaste.